What's going on, everyone? This is BakaBites. I am magically average. That over there is Frankfurter, and today, to start off the new year, wouldn't be a new year without some anime drama and debauchery from our good
Shenanigans.
old friends over at Crunchyroll. We're going to be talking about the recent Crunchyroll leaks that they swear nothing got out. They promise it's all
We
kosher.
weren't compromised.
Nothing happened that could have, I don't know, been detrimental to our users. Don't worry about it. There was nothing to see here. Keep on watching Solo Leveling, you peons. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that news along with another just, kick in the dick. Netflix deciding to increase their streaming service,
Pricing.
for all tiers, including the pitiful ad tier as well, which I have unfortunately succumbed to save costs because my ass ain't about to pay $12.99 nor is about to pay $14.99 for a Netflix subscription. So yeah, and this all comes on the tails of a record-breaking 2023 year for the anime markets. We're gonna get into all that and more, but to start off, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. Just very, very mentally drained right now from various different things and going on in the world and in my personal life. So I'm just I'm tired.
Yeah,
I can't wait for a break, you
yeah.
know?
Well,
But
nothing
I'm doing
better,
well. We're here, we're having fun, kind of. We're just gonna get the
sort of.
shit off our chests and just rant and just talk in circles and just fucking debauchery.
Yeah,
So cheers to
nothing.
you.
Nothing says what could possibly be worse than having to worry about your anime streaming site potentially leaking all of your data and having to deal with that. So, yeah, we found out this came out on January 24th, which was Friday, that
Mhm.
Crunchyroll had a massive leak. And if you weren't aware or didn't get a notification when you signed in, many users, if not all users, had their passwords compromised and their accounts compromised. But a Crunchyroll spokesman, don't worry. I know you're panicking. If you this is the first time you're hearing this, don't worry. A Crunchyroll spokesman came in and qualmed the rumors about the compromised website and said in a statement, "We are aware that login credentials for several streaming services, including Crunchyroll, were posted on social media and have resolved the issue. We have secured the affected accounts, investigated the situation, and determined, this is the key part, that there is no evidence that Crunchyroll systems have been compromised. Crunchyroll encourages subscribers to diversify and change passwords regularly and keep them confidential. For any questions regarding account security, fans can visit the customer service help page."
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of word salad of we can't find the problem yet, so everything's fine. Like
Yeah.
nobody left a visible footprint in our digital data, so we're good here. It was just passwords, nothing else. Because people don't reuse passwords for things. It's fine.
Well,
So yeah,
the
you're
frust-
good.
the
You're
frustrating
fine.
part,
Don't worry about it. Your credit cards aren't attached to your account either. No,
no,
it's
nor
okay.
nor is your billing address, because we also have a storefront that a lot of people get stuff shipped to. So it's you're fine. You're fine. It's all good. No
Like
worries.
to be fair, my Crunchyroll subscription service, like just for the streaming service, is not stored in Crunchyroll, just the password, whatever. But my credit card isn't there except for on the store. My
Yeah,
subscription goes through like the Google Play Store, so I never really have to. I have to worry about Google leaking that shit rather than Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll goes through Google, so it's fine.
yeah.
But if the store is also compromised, then yes, my credit card's out there, my address is out there, my fucking everything is out
Well,
there other than social security number, which is fine.
that's the thing. The annoying part, and then we're getting this news report from Anime News Network. It's been covered by a lot of different news networks. This is just the one I normally go to, for all of our anime and manga news. It's annoying though because they admit that they've they noticed that there were compromised accounts and they corrected them. and those compromised accounts had their login credentials posted online. So it begs the question of like, okay, were people just able to log into my account and that was it? Or did they like get just all of my data from my login credentials? Because there's a big difference. There's a big difference.
We also never got the scope either as to how many accounts were compromised because from what was seen on Twitter, it was just like a list, like a
Yeah.
handful. But we don't know how many they actually had. They could have
Yeah,
probably had
exactly.
thousands, if not, if there are millions of people on Crunchyroll, millions. But that's the interesting part where I'm just like, they Netflix PR is
Oh,
really good about telling really good things that are happening at Crunchyroll. Very good about it. Anytime something negative happens between this, the mail debacle with the voice actor,
oh
the
yeah.
rising of prices and the pricing schemes there, but it was actually just coming over from Funimation, all of that has been absolutely god awful. Their PR when it comes to bad news has been bullshit bad. Like
It's
horrifically bad.
and it's worrisome too because it's bad from the standpoint that we're not getting told the whole story, right? So then
Yeah.
you're only left to speculate what could possibly be going on because again, like what you alluded to, they posted all these accounts on social media, and so Crunchyroll in their statements was like, "We've addressed these accounts and secured them and have informed the users like just to update their login credentials and everything is secured," right? But to exactly
That's
what you were,
another stupid ass thing too, which we'll get back to, so
yeah.
remind me.
But to your point though, it's like there could be more. We don't know. There could be. We don't know the extent of what actually got compromised. Again, was it strictly just like user email and the password? Because if it's that, then normally you can't really do all too much. Like like you were saying, like my credit card information is not stored on the Crunchyroll site, but on the store, I think it has it saved maybe through my browser or something. I don't know. I can't remember, but like there's still
It's
like some
it's
there's some
attached to my yeah.
yeah, there's some security steps in place. But if it's like these whoever broke in effectively and stole all this in login credentials, if they ended up actually getting access to like the data or anything behind the login credentials that they could, I don't know, sell, that's a bigger issue. So I think it's like it's the severity of the compromised accounts is what we're not getting in. We're just seeing we're all we know is like there were some accounts posted online. We've addressed them. Everything is kosher now. But like I'm like I as a human with a functioning brain know to question that and say, I doubt that that was the extent of this, Crunchyroll. It would be wonderful if you would tell me what actually happened so I could, I don't know, address this appropriately. It like
But that's also
everything.
the thing. Nobody could address this appropriately because they're like, "Oh yeah, your passwords compromised. Go change your passwords." You
Okay.
couldn't. You couldn't go change your password.
Oh,
If
I
you go
did.
to your setting, no, I know there's one way you could have changed your password. Then it's you go to the password, your settings, and you go to the password, and you're like, okay, let me type it in. Here's my new random Google password. Oh, you're not letting me change it. Why? So you had to literally log out of your account, forgot password,
Hmm.
and get an email link to get a new password.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't mitigate the damage unless you had to take some stupid bullshit way around it. It was so dumb. Like their lack of emergency, like they are like a dead cat whenever it comes to like a red flag of like we have an emergency on our hands. They respond their response time is that of a dead cat. It is awful.
Yeah. What's shocking too is that this comes on the heels of like other news reports that came out, I think in the early or middle part of last year, of data being sold from streaming sites without users' consent. That was the whole lawsuit that happened. If you got a check from AMC, right? That
Yeah.
was the reason why. Because I think it was connected to the streaming site. Was it High Dive that I was actually doing it? I can't
High
remember.
Dive, yeah.
Yeah.
High Dive had their stuff breached or sold,
No, no, no. It
etc.
wasn't. It wasn't a breach. They were. willfully selling user data
That's
without
right.
telling the users, like without the user's consent. So,
Yeah.
and okay, and to put this out there, because I know a lot of people are like, you're overreacting. I understand a lot of people just don't care in this day and age with like how much online footprints people have and where their data gets shipped off to. I mean, we have the world of the internet spans amongst the entirety of the world, right? So your data could be anywhere and everywhere at once, depending on where you travel to online. Okay, I get that. Some people are like, I don't give two craps. I shop on all of these illegal sites or whatever you say. Like I traverse the dark web to find what I'm looking for, so I don't give a hoot if my data gets
I'm gonna,
stolen or whatever.
I'm
Right?
gonna clip that out of context for you.
Please no. Um, but for those people, they're like, I don't care if a streaming site is using my data to advertise or market to me. You know, have sell it to other companies so they can market to me, right? Or send me like targeted advertisements. Like they're like, I don't care, and like full respect. For me though, I want to know that if I'm going to a streaming site, that's all I'm there to do. I'm just there to watch my shows. I'm just there to
Yep.
enjoy what I've been, searching for. If it's an anime, if it's a new live action, whatever the case might be. I don't want to then log off and be like, wow, it was a great day. Look at my phone and I get a bajillion ads about something I just watched and be like, if you like this, you're going to love this. And here's all these products related to this too. And here's this shoved down your throat. Like that's where it's just annoying to me. And it's frustrating that, the AMC stuff happened. And then now you have with Crunchyroll the potential for like, again, is it to that extent? Did our data get let loose? Is someone going to sell it? Does this mean that Crunchyroll has a number of holes in its security system, and now we do have to like wipe our accounts basically like monthly just to ensure that no one's going to go in and buy $1,000 of anime shit on the Crunchyroll store, or like change
Which,
my
by the
account
way,
to.
you should be checking your, purchases
Well,
and your
yeah,
credit
check your
card
check your bank
statements. But
statements and everything, folks. But like, it's just again the lack of
yeah,
transparency on Crunchyroll's side when it comes to this is nerve wracking, and leaves me to suspect that there's more to it that they're just not willing to share. So
yeah.
it's all around annoying.
And in the best case scenario where it's like, hey, only a handful were compromised, they got like the first, say 1,000 off the list of like alphabetical order or what have you, like tell us that, or tell us like, hey, this is how they did it. They found a small back door, that door has been patched, etc. Like
Hmm.
give us some sort of peace of mind that you've actually fixed the problem. To tell us like, hey, yes, there were compromised accounts, but don't worry about it. Everything's fine. We don't show any sort of major data breach. It's like, no, no. Passwords are still a major data breach.
Hmm.
The amount of people that use the same passwords for different things is outstanding. Like I know I use like probably 5 different passwords for all different things, but it's like that's still a lot of accounts if you have one of them.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Yeah, no. So my password is password.
Oh,
Oh, no, it's frustrating. The lack of clarity, the lack of just like I don't know, the feedback, just positive feedback of
well,
like, hey, this is the measures that we took in order to stop it or fix it, etc. It's
yeah.
just
It's
is
ownership. It's ownership of the problem, right? It's acknowledging responsibility and basically telling everyone that we failed you as users of our platform. We failed you. We were compromised. We let your data out. That is our responsibility, right? And we screwed up. And it's not having that, and it's not having a here's how we're gonna fix it. Crunchyroll was just like, we stuck a band-aid on this minor issue, ignored the fact that all of your other limbs got chopped off, but at least we put a band-aid on that one little boo-boo on your forehead. And that's
it's tis a
all that
flesh wound.
it's all that matters.
Yeah, no, but just to move us on, just another kind of kick in the nards this week or last week that we found out, which is really unfortunate, is that Netflix is rising prices yet again,
Yep.
despite the fact that they had 19 million new subscribers last quarter of 2024.
And
19 million, and they're like, we can't do anything about that. We need to increase our prices. It's just like, I get it. Servers do cost a lot. New shows and programming cost a lot. But when you're like having exponential growth of 19 million new subs, which I'm pretty sure I'm one of those new subs, like increasing prices just looks like a shit fucking like ordeal. It's the same thing in the video game industry where it's just like, we had record breaking profits this year because we released this game and it's time to shutter all these people and lay them off so that way we look like we're doing even better.
yeah.
It's just like,
So
what the fuck?
so I'm going to tackle the two things, because as you addressed, this is extremely irritating knowing that 2023 saw the biggest growth in the anime market worldwide. It
And
reached
Netflix was a huge part of it too.
a total of 19.8 billion in 2023 global revenue, which was I think a stark increase. I think like a 13% increase from 2022. So like a massive amount, right? Netflix, and I don't know how it's calculated. This is from the Parrot Analytics report, I believe. They do a lot of like these revenue breakdowns for like different industries around the world and within different sectors too. But they broke it down and determined that of the 19.8 billion, 5.5 billion of that revenue was solely from streaming services, while the remaining 14.3 billion was from merchandising sales. And actually, I think in totality, the U.S. beat out Japan. Funny enough, in
That doesn't surprise me, honestly.
well, it doesn't from the standpoint that the global the population of the United States is
That
larger than Japan, but at the same time, like this is the Japanese market, so like
this is yeah,
you
that's
would
fair.
assume that there would be like a larger amount of revenue stream from the market origination, but I think the U.S. just again seeing the boom over the last handful of years with anime and manga sales, it doesn't surprise me that we have kind of increased that slice of the pie in the global scheme. But so out of the 5.5 billion in streaming revenue, this is the shocking part. I don't know how this is calculated, so I guess take this with a grain of salt. But this is from Parrot Analytics.
Okay.
2.07 billion was generated from Netflix strictly from anime, and
Huh.
Crunchyroll earned 1.16 billion, followed by Hulu at 903 million. I don't know how that's calculated. Again, I don't know if they do it based off of like the amount of users and then watch time by genre, and then they just kind of do a calculation from that. I don't know if it's based off of the IP that and the revenue generated from that specific IP in terms of like streaming and merchandising sales. I don't know because it says it's just from streaming. But Netflix being almost a full $1 billion more than Crunchyroll in revenue within the anime market is shocking.
Yeah.
We
And
were
that's
like
just streaming.
yeah. Well, and we had always said too, like Netflix is going to increase their library of anime over the years, and they are going to compete more and more with Crunchyroll. Like I think we originally saw that when like they picked up Comey and Uncle from Another World and stuff, and they were starting to do the weekly releases,
Shows.
just like regular anime, like whatever's being televised in Japan, they were gonna do weekly releases for those instead of doing their usual entire drop of a season, right? And we were like, okay, if they start getting more of these series, I can see them gaining some traction and putting themselves as kind of like the next big competitor to Crunchyroll, because at the time it was just kind of like this battle of secondary streaming sites like Hulu and Disney Plus elsewhere and High Dive, and then you had like you threw in like Max, I guess, as well. So it's just kind of like a
Yeah.
hodgepodge, and then Netflix started to fight in there, but then kind of set itself apart, and you're like, okay, Crunchyroll and Netflix, and then Netflix was just like, hold my beer, kid, and launched to the top. Like
Yeah,
that is surprising.
so I will say, like, while I do still think that they are still trying to compete in the market because they still every season, every year, not every season, but for the most part, the last few seasons, they've had weekly releases
Yeah.
for brand new shows. So they
And
are trying to compete in that sense. Their library may not be as vast, but they are still competing because they're getting the high named, like high brand or high tier, god damn it, named shows.
yeah,
I know my brain is
yeah.
just like, come on, Frank,
They're
get it,
getting
stay together.
they got Delicious in Dungeon. They got I mean currently they're airing Sakamoto Days,
They
right?
got Blue Box. They
They got
also got simultaneous with Dan to Dan as well. They got
yep,
Ranma one half.
yep.
This summer, oh fuck, I didn't even realize this. I'm on Netflix right now. I just typed in anime to see what pops up. They're also this summer getting the summer Hikaru died.
Oh,
They
that's
also
right.
got yeah, they got Orb. They got like they
Yeah.
have a
Oh
lot of
God,
things that
Orb.
they were just I know. But like even then, like I think the reason that you and I were like, yes, Netflix is going to start taking this a bit like more serious is because they got Comey and the other one was Blue Period, which I completely forgot.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they had Blue Period.
Blue Period was phenomenal,
Yeah.
and they have not done a second season, which is really unfortunate. But, yeah, I
Well,
still think that they're serious, but I think that they're really just kinda like, "Okay, what's the best of the best, or what's a movie that we can grab, and then we're just gonna grab that and put it out there."
so that was what I was also going to mention too. And don't forget, they did release Pluto as well. They had Pluto.
They did.
Yeah.
They did, and that went way under the radar, unfortunately, but it was still
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Well, because that all came out like at once. It wasn't the simulcast weekly release. So I think that might have been it
Yeah.
too. But they've also, I mean, they've dabbled in. This is kind of for to some it's far reaching. To me, in my opinion, I truthfully don't. I mean, they've also dabbled into their own series. Like they had Blue Eyed Samurai. They have Arcane. Right? They're not traditional anime, but they are animated series nonetheless. Right? And so
Yeah.
you have you see Netflix diving deeper into the animation market on top of to what you were just saying as well. Like they're grabbing all these other like anime movies. Like that's where I watched A Whisker Away. That's where I watch uh
Mononoke.
yep, Mononoke's on there. Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, which is one of my favorites. I know we didn't really like it
Oh,
that much, but they had Bubble. They had a bunch.
they do have
So
worlds bubble up like soda pop still.
yeah. That's a great movie. If you like cutesy stuff, go watch that one.
Yeah,
But
but then they
it's
also have, like, these other, like, 5 to 6 episode series too that we just
mhm.
forget that they have. Like, fuck, I was just looking at it. TP Bon, is a 2-season series that I've
Orbital
had on my
Children.
to-watch list. Orbital Children, which I think it was really good
Yeah.
despite what a lot of people say about it. I forgot Romantic Killer was on there, it was 12 episodes. But then they have other smaller things like The Grim Variations, which is a 6-episode season where it's
Mhm.
about, like, the Hansel and Gretel and just other different types of grim fairy tales. And then they also have like a 5 episode The Vampire in the Garden, which is another show that's been on my to watch list for
Oh
forever.
yeah, that was the original series from I think it was Wit that did
I don't know. I
yeah
haven't
I think
watched
Wit
it, but
did
I think
Vampire
you're
in the
right.
Garden. Yeah,
But yeah, like they still have like all these smaller shows that people don't remember, but they are critical darlings.
yeah. It's I think again the numbers wise based on performance, it's more just shocking that Netflix being touted as like the king of streaming sites, having all of these like blockbuster hits for like their other series, the non-animated series, the live
Yeah, like
action, whatever you want to call them, dramatic series.
all the shitty like drama series, the or not drama, but what's like Survivor, reality
Oh,
TV
Oh
series.
god, the reality TV series are
The reality
atrocious.
TV series, all the
People
shitty, like, action movies,
people eat that
the
up though,
dramas
man.
that people love. Oh, I know they do.
People eat
I know they do.
all the like millions of Adam Sandler movies that he signed on to in that big Netflix deal that he's just churning out.
Him him
Which
and
I
Jennifer Law or not Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Aniston too,
yeah,
yeah.
oh, love Jennifer Aniston.
I do too.
Um,
She's still just
yeah,
anyways.
it it's again, I think it's telling though that as we predicted early on from when Netflix started to grab those weekly releases, we were like, if Netflix keeps just picking out these top tier anime, like the most hyped, the like biggest received in terms of like popularity overseas as well, like whatever the case is, if they just keep picking up those, they're going to see massive increases in numbers. And it shows from the analytics report that came out. Like, it shows that clearly they're doing something right in the streaming service world. But then why, oh fucking why, are they increasing their price? And I'll tell you what they said, and it's very frustrating because it's what every other company says every time. I hope they have it in this article, but I know they made a statement to the
I'm looking
they
at a CNN
don't.
article. Give me a second.
I was gonna say basically. So okay, we'll give the full breakdown of
Even an
increases.
amazing quarter where we had 3 huge live events, we had an incredible fight, 2 NFL games, we had one of our biggest TV series ever in Squid Game Season 2, all very successful events and titles that we are thrilled about. If there was a path where we could actually make economics work for both us and the league, we certainly would explore, but right now we believe that live events business is where we oh, wait, no, this is just no, never
That's
mind. This
live
is just what
events.
they wanna take it, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it basically the quote I read before was something along the lines of, "We are increasing our prices in order to continuously provide you with like
I have
quality."
the quote.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have it. So it's as we continue to invest in programming and deliver more value for our members, we will occasionally ask our members to pay a little more so that we can reinvest to further improve Netflix. What the fuck,
It's
dude?
that
What the fucking
it's the
corporate
we will
bullshit jargon?
the line that gets me the most. Because remember, you're dealing with a corporation. You're dealing with like executives that make tens of millions of dollars year to year in terms of just pure salary, not including bonuses, not including all the glitz and glam that comes with being a senior, like an executive with the biggest streaming service, right? And they're coming to the regular folk that have invested their hard-earned cash into just watching a TV show here and there to go, we look to our customers to just pitch in a little extra because we want
And
to
like
keep
the little
providing you
extra,
that good stuff.
and that little extra isn't even a little. Like it's a dollar.
No,
Okay,
it's
so for the ad version, it's going up a dollar
it's
to 7.99.
significant.
So that's a $12 increase per year. For the middle tier where it's 1080p, you get everything, no ads. It's increasing $2.50 from 15.49 to 17.99.
Yep,
So 250 times 12, I can't math. That's 24 plus 6, that's $30 a year.
yep,
And then it's also increasing the 4K price from 22.99 to 24.99. So another $24 in their pocket per customer per 4K, whatever.
yep.
Like,
It's
it's just it sucks, dude. It
it's
really does.
and the again
Cuz like
the
what are we going to get? What are we going to get? What the Netflix, I want you to show us where you're investing all this because
well,
we see like real no offense to reality lovers, like there is an audience for it. I know you love it, but like those are pretty cheap to make. Reality shows are pretty cheap to make.
mhm.
Unless you're making like a Mr. Beast games where they're giving out five
Oh
million
my
and
god.
plus whatever
Can
a
we not
fucking week, like
can we not talk about that guy? I hate
yeah,
Mr.
no, it's
Beast.
fine, but it's fine.
I'm sorry if
But
you're
it's just like
listening,
you're
Mr.
not.
Beast. I don't like you.
I doubt he will even fucking. He won't wince a wink at night. He won't lose
Yeah.
his sleep. He won't. Brain work, please. Fuck words. Okay. What I'm trying to get at is that it really just fucking sucks. And I'm just gonna leave it plain and
It's
simple. It just sucks. Let's just reach into our piggy banks, aka the people, and fucking pull out more from their
so
assholes.
that's so the thing that's just very weird too about streaming services in general is if you think of it in the context of other entertainment, right? You don't pay for the creation of like a movie or a television show, right? You pay to gain access to view it once it's released, right?
Yep.
Like if I want to watch Bob's Burgers, on Fox when it comes out. Okay? Let's say I have to watch it when it airs, right? I have to
Yeah.
have cable TV because it comes out on Fox Entertainment or whatever the channel is, right? Same with all
Yep.
the other shows, the drama shows. If I want to watch the new season of NCIS right when it airs, I have to have access to CBS, right? If I want to go see a new movie, right? I just went, and we can talk about this at the end to make ourselves happy. I just went to go see a new anime movie. It's called Colors Within, and it's wonderful. I absolutely adored it. I had to buy a movie
Yeah, we
ticket. Yeah, we can get into it. But I had to buy a movie ticket. And this movie ticket allowed me access to the theater that it was showing in. I didn't get a letter in the mail from Naoko Yamada, the director of The Colors Within, saying, "Hey, I'm directing this new movie. If you want to come see it, just send me like, I don't know, $10 and I'll make it." Right? That's basically what Netflix is doing. They're like, "Hey, we've got big things in the works. We need you to fund it. So we're increasing your subscription." And the annoying part is that like I bet most people would be like, "I'm not going to watch that." Like I bet if you took a poll of Netflix users, the amount of people that would actually watch, I don't know, a
the
Thursday night
next
football game that comes out. No, like because they're
okay.
like, we want to invest in live
Say the
TV.
next rock movie.
Oh
But yeah,
God, we're
that
not.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, the next Rocket movie. If you enjoy eating orange crayons specifically, you're gonna love our next Vin Diesel movie. Um,
God.
like they're like, okay, who's gonna watch Thursday night football, right? Because that's where we're investing our money in. We want to invest exclusively, not exclusively, but they did say they're gonna spend a significant amount of money in building out their live. Thank you. Their live TV platform. How many people are actually asking that?
I
I
don't know,
bet
but I will say this though.
yes.
Their live events, event after event after event, have only gotten better. Their first
No, I
event, which was a reality TV show, was awful, apparently. I don't remember what it was, but it was yeah, it was apparently awful. The Mike Tyson fucking fight was a tragedy.
well,
A
not
four
entirely.
a
Everyone got to
480p tragedy.
no. Everyone got to see Mike Tyson's ass in clear
That's true.
4K. That was the one
That is
part of the stream that was like crystal
did not
clear,
yeah,
no disruption, no lag. Mike Tyson's ass just like perfectly
uh,
center screen, and I was like, this is actually why I
7-year-old
joined.
man, just ass.
Yeah, this is
Just
why I
straight
joined.
up. But then,
And then
like,
the football games were good.
Chris
But my
yeah.
point is not like quality. My point is specifically like user base of Netflix, who's actually asking for this, right? It's that aspect of it where they're like, we're gonna increase this. It's not because of like user generated data that we're going off of. Like we're not looking at it and saying like, wow, a 100 million people watched the live broadcast of the football games that were on Netflix, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not that. And even if that was the case, that's a insignificant number compared to the billions of views that they get probably like daily from all their other shows.
But
But they're
Tyler,
like
they want to capture more of that audience, so they
I
do
just
all this.
it's the same thing. It's the same problem I'm having. I'm gonna go on a slight tangent, but it is related. It's the same problem I'm having with YouTube TV. When I first signed up for YouTube TV, it was $45 a month, and they were like, we are directly competing with your cable providers because we want to be able to provide you access to
Snip
live
the
programming.
cord.
Yeah, we want to provide you with access to live programming at half the cost because it's atrocious how much cable companies are charging people to just get access to cable TV. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I think at the time I was paying like $80 alone just for cable, like basic. I was like, this is stupid. Switch to YouTube
Yeah.
TV, best decision, right? Early on, there was some lags here and there, like they had just platform problems, but it comes with the territory. And then it gradually improved. I was like, this is great. Well, as it gradually improved, hey, we're going to increase it to 50. Hey, we're going to increase it to 60. Hey, we're going to increase it to 65. Hey, we're going to increase it to 75. Hey, you're basically paying the same price as cable from before. I'm like,
That's how they get
what
ya.
what happened? What's going on? I'm not seeing an infinitely better product. I'm not seeing
Nope.
a $30 increase in benefit from when I originally started with YouTube TV, other than it doesn't lag as much. That's not worth it.
And, like, even with cable, it's like, hey, cable, unless, like, the weather was really, really bad, like, it was there. You turn on the TV, boom, you're right there in cable. Like, now it's just like, cool, I gotta load this thing, I gotta find the show,
Yeah.
click on the
I
show, buffer the show.
it's just
It's just
it's everything with streaming services is getting more and more frustrating from the standpoint of like the quality is does not correlate to the amount of money that we keep paying for Netflix. It doesn't. You're still gonna get like for every handful of great shows, there's a dumpster truck of garbage. And you're paying for that garbage to get produced. That's a part of
yeah,
their big plan. It's a part of everything that's in their like 5 years into the future plan that they're now investing in that you have to front as the paying subscribers. And it's like, why do I have to pay for like trash fire when I just want the good stuff? And it's like, well, you can't be picky. Everything good has to come with something bad. It's like, no. There's models in place that make sense. Me buying a movie ticket to go see the only movie I want, I don't have to pay. The movie theater's not knocking on my door at 4 a.m. being like, "Hey, we got 23 new movies coming out this weekend. You got to pay for those." I'm like, "What if I only want to watch 2?" Doesn't matter. Pay them all. Like that's not what you do. You pay for the ones you want to go to see. You pay for what you want to see. So the fact that Netflix keeps producing some gems and a shitload of garbage doesn't matter. You still got to pay for it all.
you still gotta pay for the garbage. And I will say, like, just quick aside and just very off topic, but slightly on topic.
Okay.
I will say that the movie theater subscription passes, like the season passes, like, oh, come to the movies, whenever, but you pay like $1 for every movie you see instead of paying like $15 or whatever for a movie ticket. If you go see a lot of movies, those are actually pretty darn fucking good,
Oh
especially
yeah.
depending on what theaters you go to. Like, I've
I,
been tempted to go pick one up for the Alamo season pass. It's like $20 a month. Usually tickets are 15 and you pay the $1 service fee to get your seat essentially. So it's like you get to go see whatever you want to see whenever you want to see for $1.
yeah.
And it's just I don't know. Some of these
It's
other things seem so much worth it. It's like things like that seem worth it if you're into movies. I am into fucking anime and all this, like in handful of other shows.
mhm.
Netflix doesn't seem like it's worth it. And to your point, I think before we started recording, you were saying, yeah, I'm going from the ad-free version to the ad version because $17 or $18 a month, it's 17.99, so it's $18 a month is not worth it. I'm going to save the $10 and do the $8 a month and
With
just
ads.
have ads, which I
Yeah.
do want to ask, how bad are the ads?
One in the beginning, one in the middle. Imagine you're watching an anime on TV and you have a split first half and then you have an ad and then the second half then you're done.
Okay.
It's 2
Let me
ads.
let me rephrase. How quick are the ads?
15 seconds.
That's not bad at all.
No. It's
Yeah,
easy
I'm a
peasy.
downgrade
Fucking
us.
Hulu has like a minute 30 and
Hulu's
I have to just
Hulu's is pretty bad.
slog through that. Yeah. No, Netflix is usually 15 to 30 seconds, maybe occasionally you get a 45. I don't think anything I've ever seen over a minute.
That's
So,
actually not bad at all. I
no.
I'm probably
Yeah, but
gonna
that's now.
drop us
That's
down.
now. That's now. Who knows what's going to happen? They're going to hear this. Netflix like fucking linked into all my
In
different
collusion with Meta, which is on everything at this point, and
yeah.
it's just like, these two assholes, they bring up a good point. Like, I have to watch a 15 fucking second ad every time I open ESPN and I want to watch a video, but let alone
No.
with fucking
And
Netflix.
the
Like, I
video is
can
only
deal with
20
Netflix.
seconds.
And the video's 20 seconds long. It's like, God damn it. ESPN, why am I paying for ESPN Plus? Get rid of your fucking ads for ESPN Plus, people, please.
It's
That'd be
yeah.
great. But
I
let's move on to something that's a bit more cheerful, please, for the love of
well,
God. I'm
I want to
tired.
finish I want to finish with one thing because I like your the conversation on the movie theater stuff because I my wife and I got like AMC Premiere when we went to go see The Colors Within, because I was like, oh, it's $18 for the entire year. You get extra like 5 times the amount of points when you spend money there. They waive your service fee when you book online. You get automatic upgrades when you get refills on popcorn. So if you get a medium, they just give you a large for free, like a free upgrade. Like, it's great. And it's like, but isn't the movie theater industry like dying? And you're like, yeah, so
That's
why
the
am I
thing.
getting all these benefits? The market is it's so backwards from what people imagine, because they're like, when things do good should be cheap, when things do bad should be expensive. But it's flipped. When you're doing well as a company, what's your number one thing you want to do? Keep doing well. What's the easiest way to do that? Increase your prices. If you're a failing company or a failing industry, that's the number one thing you need to do? Get people in the door. How do you do that? Decrease your prices. It just, the
And I will
math
say
doesn't
this.
work, but the market makes it make sense.
Here's the only reason why I have not bought a Alamo Drafthouse like season pass or monthly pass. And that's because Sony still hasn't done fucking dick all with bringing anime to Alamo Drafthouse. Sony bought Alamo Drafthouse last year. It's been about half a year, if not a little bit longer, since they bought Alamo Drafthouse out.
Yeah.
And they've
So
done dick all of bringing anime films to Alamo. I still have to go see every fucking movie, like The Colors Within. I had to go to a Cinemark because it's the only theaters that show it, that or AMC.
yeah,
It's like
AMC was the
Sony,
closest for me.
it's like Sony. Do you have a shit relationship with G Kids to the point where you can't get any of their movies in theaters?
Sony.
Fucking just like bring me. I don't even care if it's a new movie. Bring me a movie I haven't seen in forever into theaters. Like I think I've definitely discussed this on the podcast before. I went to go see the Millennium Actress, which is one of the Satoshi Kon's films, in an Alamo Drafthouse because they brought it back for one day only, and it was phenomenal. It was such a great experience seeing that in theaters. Like,
Mhm.
give me some of these older movies. I would gladly, gladly, gladly go see Metropolis in theaters, not the fucking 2024 bullshit Metropolis made by I forget his face. I'm talking about like the 2001 Metropolis anime film. That movie is fantastic, but to see that on a big screen would be, oh, so good
Yeah.
because that movie is
I mean,
fantastic.
yeah, easiest thing every year that happens every single year is Ghibli Fest, and it's like, gets me into a theater every single year multiple times because they show a bunch of Ghibli films, and why wouldn't you want to go see it on a big screen? So yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. But on that note about seeing anime films on the big screen, we both went this past weekend to go see The Colors Within in our respective
Yeah.
theaters because we're not in the same state.
No, normally we would save this for like the review podcast, which we will eventually be bringing back. We're in the midst of
Shocker.
bringing it back. To win, you'll stay tuned to find out.
TBD. Yeah.
TBD. But no, like, yeah, you and I went to go see this. I'm actually surprised that you didn't tell me that you're going to see it. It's just I got a message Saturday afternoon. You're like, I just got out of The Colors Within. It was good. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
When did you
Well,
decide to do this without me?
I meant to go see it Friday, and like I was like at the office. I was like having a rough day, and I'm like, fuck it. I was like, sweetie, let's just go see The Colors Within. I look when I get home, and sure as shit, they're all sold out. And I'm like, well, never mind. I was gonna go pound sand at home and be upset. So I was like, we'll just go Saturday. But yeah, I had wanted to see it when I kept coming across my TikTok feed actually, and I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll go see it. It looks cute enough. The
Yeah,
director is great. I mean, the other film they've directed is
they've done a
heart
few things
wrenching.
that I didn't know about, other than A Silent Voice, which I was unaware of. And I can look it up while we're talking. But yeah, no, this movie was great. But because I was so taken aback with A Silent Voice and how fucking uh how
Roller coaster. We'll just say.
emotional that how emotional that movie was. I was literally the entire time in this movie on pins and needles waiting for the other
Yeah.
shoe to fucking drop. The entire time I was like,
You're just like, they can't be happy this entire time, right? Like something's
this whole movie isn't going to be this wholesome, is it?
no,
And
it's
it was.
impossible.
It was so wholesome. It was so good, and it's just like I I really enjoyed it. Like, this movie is a solid 8 out of 10. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah, definitely.
anything phenomenal. It's not anything bad. It is just so wholesomely good. It just puts a smile on your face. Like me, my buddy, and my buddy's wife, we went to go see it, and near the end where you see the main character playing the piano, but they're playing it like a fucking toddler where they just have one finger playing the keys. I literally was just I wanted to crumple up into a small ball and just go,
There
oh.
were so many parts with like the main character alone that like my wife just like looked over at me and was like had the face of like we must protect her, and I was like, I know, she's
Yeah,
adorable. No,
yeah.
this was a it took me off guard too because I didn't really know what to expect going in. Because for slight background, no spoilers, it takes place in like an all girls Catholic school. Um, so there's like a
Which I
heavy
was not aware of. I
no.
was not aware of going into that, so, like, having to relive kinda Catholic school moments
Oh
throughout this
yeah,
movie, I was like, "Whoa, this is some PTSD." Like,
yeah,
at one point, like so my the friends that I went with, they also went to Catholic school as well, or they were born and raised, Christian, Catholic, whatever.
yeah.
So, like, when they were doing choir chants and everything else, like, all 3 of us were like, "Oh, we know this."
They're like, it's like they
Yes,
have the thousand
just the
yard stare.
PTSD. We were back in the fucking pews, just like we were right there. We're like, "Oh my god."
So if you're not aware, yeah, it might take you off guard at first, but like so the tone to start the movie was like interesting because you're like, okay, it's based around this girl that's like super quirky and
Just shy.
doesn't. Well, I mean, she's quirky in her own right. Like her whole thing is like
Yeah,
she sees the embodiment of color within people and can like perceive different things in the world as just like colors, but not the colors like that are actually with like them. Right? Like some people she sees as green, some people she sees as red, some people she sees as purple. Like and people are like,
yeah.
"That's odd. We're going to walk away slowly and
You
maybe
do
put
that.
in
Bye-bye.
police report." Yeah. Um and then it takes like a very interesting shift of like focusing on two other characters and like she's kind of like this weird catalyst for their growth and it's all these like different side stories that are have awesome messages and it's wonderful on top of the fact that you get like a banger concert at the end for like straight 15 minutes to like
Yeah.
wrap up the whole movie. It's perfect, but yeah.
3 very different songs too, mind you.
Well, and
Like,
it's cool because
because they all embody it's one song per person, and
yeah,
it kinda all embodies their feelings and what they're going through too, and
yeah,
it's so adorable. And like some things were very obvious that they were gonna happen. I'm just waiting for it to happen. And when it happens, I'm like, fuck
yeah,
yes. Like
yeah.
I'm so happy this happened. I knew this was gonna happen, but it was such a delightful movie. Like in today's day and age of just like all the shit going on, I'm just like, this was such a nice reprieve to just take me out for an hour and 40 minutes and just make me smile from ear to ear.
Yeah.
I really can't like I this isn't something that I can recommend to everybody because fundamentally it's a music show with a lot more going on to it, and it's a very slow slice of life. There were moments in this I'm just like, how long have we been here? How long do we have left?
Yeah.
But like, uh, it is still such a great just film. It's just such a fun, just nice piece of freaking cotton candy
And
on
it's
a warm summer day.
well animated by Science Saru, and they did a great
Which God,
job.
they don't miss either. Wit and Science Seru are just fucking
They've been
top
on a
tier.
roll. Yeah.
They are top
I
tier.
I I correlate this movie. I mentioned it when I messaged you and I said it earlier too. Like this is in my mind a I guess a more mature version, so to speak, of Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. Where like
Okay.
that one's very much wholesome, slice of life, cutesy all over from beginning to end. Kind of very slow paced, has a nice like fulfilling moment at the end where you're like, yay, you get to see like the growth of the characters and everything that they had to go through to get to
Right.
this point. Like it's awesome. The Colors Within is more mature from the standpoint of like there's deeper messages and meanings behind the characters, and the characters are like just they're more adult in their own way in terms of like having to navigate through life. So it's
Yeah.
if you like words bubble up like soda pop, if you like slow paced anime movies where you're gonna sit down for an hour and a half, hour and 45, and just relax and have a good time, can't recommend any more of The Colors Within because that's wonderful.
Yes, and you just don't have to worry about the shoe dropping. Like it doesn't happen. It is just a wholesome ass film. Don't let
Yeah, that's
fucking
the
a
one
silent
spoiler we'll
voice
give.
scar you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one spoiler we'll
don't
give
let
is
it
that there's no like guillotine
death.
drop.
There's no fucking tragedy in here. It's
Yeah,
just wholesome. It was so much fun. I really want to go see it again, but I know that it's leaving theaters and I've got a busy ass week, so I probably won't get
yeah,
the opportunity. So this is one of those things that I'm like, hey Netflix, you know how you're charging everybody more? Hey Crunchyroll, you know how you fucked up just now? Give us something good.
yeah.
Give us some slice of happiness.
And we hope we gave you a little bit of slice of happiness in today's episode. Thank you so much for
Ooh.
joining. I had so many like segues teed up. You're like, it's gonna leave leaving theaters. I was like, oh, if he ends right here, I'm gonna say, and now we have to leave you. And like, I was like, I'm getting ready. um, thank you again, as always, for listening and watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to follow us on our socials. We try to post daily on our TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and for the time being, Instagram. Likely gonna have to shut that shit down pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to post updates though, but be sure to engage with us on our socials. You can also join our Discord where you can harass us and engage with us even more. We have a growing community there. We love to hear from you and all the different things you're watching and all the different things you're doing and going out, conventions, buying new manga, whatever the case might be. We just love interacting with everyone and continuously growing our big anime and manga family. We will be back next week? Question mark? Maybe not. You're not gonna be here. Maybe I have to find
No,
someone else?
I'll be
Question
back.
mark. Oh, you'll be back.
No, I'll be
All
back.
right. So then we
Yeah,
will be back.
I Sunday.
All right.
So
Well, we will be
I'll
back
be
next week with a
yeah.
brand new episode. What a way to end this. Thank you again. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.